Okay, another case of the Slav defense and playing bishop, removing the bishop before its time. So we have d4, c6, c4, d5, that enters the Slav defense. And then there's knight to c3. The idea behind knight to c3 is to prepare a4 in case of d takes c4. So it's kind of a line because in the Slav defense, your opponent can actually try and keep the pawn. So this is actually the main line of the Slav defense. So that's why I go for knight to c3 against the Slav defense instead of my normal knight to f3. So if I continue, he plays knight to f6, just continue developing, knight to f3, and then just like this, he plays bishop to f5, and it's surprisingly common how many people play this, and so many of them are unsuspecting as to why I release attention so quickly. But it's because of this queen to b3, and yeah, so so many of them play b6. When I tell you I've had this position over 20 times, the exact same position, most people don't believe, but you can see the various examples. But here I think um, I was playing a bit too quickly, so I guess my opponent started sensing the danger, and so e4, same line, knight to e5, and then here e6 is a very simple loss, so my opponent chose bishop to e6. Now bishop to e6 I've also studied, but here I made a few inaccuracies. So after bishop check, knight blocks, um, d5 has to be found in this case, because it prepares the next idea, which I kind of knew, but I played it wrong. So after d5, the idea is to play h3 and then g4. This is in order to remove the bishop, because the bishop is what is keeping this position alive. You can see the engine is saying +3. So after bishop g4, I'm threatening to take the knight, and then probably push g4 now safely. But my opponent, he kicks my bishop, I come into the position, and then he plays rook to c8. And here I think he could probably even be threatening to play, oh, he actually can't play rook takes bishop, my bad. So in this case I play g4 a bit too early. It's not so bad because I think the ideas still, they're not so bad, but I kind of have lost the advantage now. But here he chooses to play g6, and that's the advantage of having a good position, because everything he tries to do is a bit too slow. His position is a lot worse than it looks. It looks like he's kind of safe, but he has no time to get his king out of the center. So after g6, I should have found a good resource here that just wins a game on the spot. If you notice, the king has no squares. So after knight to d6, he is forced to take my knight, and then I win his queen. And the worst thing about this is that his position is still bad. So that was going to be completely winning, but I missed it, and a few inaccuracies. I think at this point I was playing, this was a rapid game, so I ended up in time pressure, and I ended up losing this game. I don't know how, to be honest. But yeah, my position was still, because his king is still in the center, I will always have chances despite how low my clock was. And then I think here I should have just taken the knight. I don't know why I didn't take, because I think the knight was pinned for the whole game. So at the back of my mind, I forgot that now the knight is actually doing a defensive job. And then here, after bishop takes rook, I did. The bishop came back to defend. I had like 10 seconds. I was like, the bishop is pinned, and I forgot the knight was no longer pinned. So I ended up losing the game. Yeah. But that's just an example of how good a position you can get against a Slav defense.